All right, next game on the docket, Shane. LSU at number 2 Alabama. Crimson Tide favored by 28.5 points. The over-under 66 total points. This game kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central on ESPN. Alabama won last season 55-17. And I got to be honest with you, Shane, I cannot remember the last time we've had this little buzz for Alabama LSU. We've barely talked about it this week because, this doesn't even look like I can't figure out a way to make this competitive. Who do you like in the matchup?
Mike, for about a year, we had this thing penciled as a 3:30 CBS game, didn't we? I mean, you just knew this was going to be the game, one of the games of the year, to figure out who's going to be the SEC West champion. But boy, things have changed, and it all starts down there in LSU. I just think that these guys, I felt at first there was a little uptick in team chemistry, Mike, but I think that's kind of fell to the wayside here the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that they're not giving 110%, because I guarantee there's a lot of kids down there that are, but I'm just not feeling it from the whole group, because you got a team leader that's not even going to be there next year. That's the most puzzling thing for me. I feel bad for Coach O and the way he's going out. It's almost sad, Mike. I just – that's the story that you're going to hear a million times when you watch this game is Coach O, and they're going to probably talk about Coach Joey Burrow more than they will about Johnson down there. So I think that's the problem with LSU. Big shadow over them, and this game is not going to be competitive at all, man. You hit it earlier when we're talking about the overs. I think there's going to be a lot of overs with Alabama. I think this is a team that is really finding their groove here late in the season. Probably the most dangerous next to Georgia, a team in the country. Is the reason these guys are 1-2. I don't see that changing. In fact, I see that growing this week when they play LSU. Coach, I'm telling you, Nick Saban hates losing. And you got to remember the last time that they came to Alabama, what happened? They had a loss. We had the dang president of the United States up there in the stands. The whole world was watching, and they all remember losing. Well, Nick Saban hasn't lost many games, but he has lost recently to this team. So I think there's a little bit of that revenge factor playing in the background. That's why I just think this thing's put to bed pretty early. So give me Alabama. The points is the only problem, Mike. I'm not a fan of 28.5. When you do have this type of rivalry. So I'm going to get LSU with the points, but it's not going to be a ball game. Alabama 41, LSU 14.
Yeah, we're going to find out how much heart this LSU team's got this weekend, to be sure. They are banged up. Damn near everybody in their secondary is limited or not going to play. The offense, I mean, you never know what you're going to get week to week, and we may, at the end of the season, look back and say, how in the hell did Florida lose to this LSU team? I mean, I think we're trending closer and closer to that every week, and, I'm just hearing bad vibes down there in Baton Rouge from the practice. I don't think that, any of the players are getting up for this Alabama game, as crazy as that sounds, but yeah, it is what it is, Shane, and the vast majority of this roster, at least the key contributors, were not members of the team or not key contributors to the team that went down there to Tuscaloosa and beat the Crimson Tide. So you factor all that in. You factor that Alabama, they've got a ways to go, Shane. I'm not sitting here saying Alabama is unbeatable, because, hell, we know for a fact they're beatable. They lost to Texas A&M. Last time we saw them out there against Tennessee. I really think if Tennessee had a more complete roster than they currently do, I mean, Tennessee may have won that game. A lot of mistakes made by the Crimson Tide in that matchup that gave Tennessee, I believe they had a lead in the, third quarter or second quarter there, but
hell yeah, we got that plaque up there in the locker room, Mike. We had the lead in the second half.
So I think all those issues, though, is going to allow Nick Saban to get his message across to his team during the bye week. I think they come out super focused, and I think Alabama's trying to get them speaking of the Heisman, another Heisman Trophy winner in Bryce Young. So I think this is going to be an easy one, Shane. This is my lock of the week. I'm going Alabama 56, LSU 13, Crimson Tide win and cover that massive spread.
When in doubt, bet on Bama, Mike. I like it. Hey, is there any chance, let's say if you're 1 to 100, 1 being like snowball's chance in hell, 100 being most likely going to happen, upset, what is the odds that we see a trap game scenario, an LSU upset? I mean, they do got weapons, Mike. They do got players on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, anything can happen. Like you said, Alabama could come out and just think they're going to steamroll this program, and next thing you know, they're at the second half like Tennessee, looking at losing. So, what are your odds of seeing an upset? Is it higher, do you think, or do you think it's kind of low right now?
Well, hell, I just locked it up, so I got to say low, Shane. I'd say probably around 10%.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you want this game to be competitive. It is a night game. It's going to be fun. It's going to be electric. People are going to talk about the stories. There's going to be a lot of players out there, a lot of people watching, man. And you just never know, but I don't know. I'm with you. I think it's a very low shot, but anything can happen. That's why we play the game, Mike. That's why they play them.
And the fact that I locked it up, Shane, they'll probably be carrying Coach O off the field as beating Alabama in his final game or something. You know what?
Oh, my God. Do you think they hire him back after that? I think I would. Somebody could beat Saban 2 times? Yeah. At their place? Oh,